Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Autos. So it is a very windy day today, so I hope you can hear me and the microphone's not picking up too much of the wind noise. So here we have a Peugeot partner electric van. This is a 2016. These have a 22 kilowatt hour battery, and these also have DC rapid charging. So let's talk about charging to start with. So on the front wing here is your AC charging port, so your slow charging. So this is when you would charge the vehicle when you're not using it, typically overnight or if you're on site during the day, either from a 7 kilowatt wall charger or a normal main socket using a portable charger, often called a granny cable. So this is a Type 1 AC 3.5 kilowatt charger. And then here at the back, where the diesel filler would be on the diesel van, of course, is your rapid charging port. So this is a 50 kilowatt DC CHAdeMO, and this gets you that charge from 0 to 80% in about 30 minutes. And this is what you would use if you're doing a longer trip, often in fuel stations, motorway services, also now in some car parks and high street locations as well. So these vans have a sliding door on the near side. This is ply lined. Actually, let's go and have a look at the back there. So yeah, as you can see, it's all ply lined, and we've got the full-size bulkhead where you have solid steel at the bottom and then mesh at the top. While we're at the back here, this van has also got parking sensors on the back, which is quite rare on these. And then of course we've got the green number plates to show it's a zero emission vehicle. And these are the only small electric van with 3 seats up front, and the seats on these are quite clever because you can fold that down and then you can open this hatch here and slide that out the way completely, but then you can put long items through, hook them down there in the footwell under the glove box, and you can actually fit 3 metre lengths in this van. This seat also lifts up here, and then you can put large items on the floor there. However, the locking of this isn't working, I think just because this has been bent a little bit, or the spring has gone, but if you can lock it in place, or you can just stick the seat belt around it. But the same goes when it fits down on the floor there, you have to lift that lever up to lock it down. I think someone hasn't locked that properly and sat on it and has bent it. And then you can tip the top down to get yourself a little work table, or an eating table. Eat your McDonald's lunch at lunchtime. And on these you also get overhead storage as well. This van also has a passenger airbag, which is an option, which is again something you don't see on these. So the main purpose of this video is to show you the condition, and if you see my videos before, you know I point out every little stone chip mark or scratch I can find. I don't hide anything, there's absolutely no point, and then that gives people the confidence to buy the vehicle without coming here to view it. And most vehicles go without a viewing, and I can get them delivered anywhere in the country. So I'm going to point out a few things that are all very minor. It is a really nice looking van. And considering this van has done some mileage, it's done 36,000 miles, it's in cracking condition. But I'm going to be very picky and point out everything I can see, just so you know exactly what you're going to buy if you want to buy this. So on the front bumper there's a bit of scuffing down here on that section low down. The rest of it's all really nice. There is a few minor scratches in the paintwork on the bonnet, all very minor. I suspect there was some vinyl lettering at some point has been removed, but in this light I cannot see any of them at all. Actually I can just about see one of them, but they're all very minor. It has also been waxed as well, I would just add. And then looking around here, we've got some minor scratching on that wheel trim, but you're always going to get that on these plastic wheel trims do get scratched, particularly on the near side when people hit them on curbs when you're parking. It's got brand new tyres on the front as well. Looking down this side, there's nothing to point out at all. It's really tidy, no scratching or dents. Some minor scuffing again on the plastic wheel trim there. I would just say the tyre tread depths are all on the website as well. Oh, there's a couple of little dents here where stuff has obviously been put inside the back. So there's one little dent there, a little bit of paint missing there, which I will get the touch-up stick out and put a bit of primer and top coat on there. But yeah, going around the back, really tidy again. Normally the doors get dented on these vans. We've got the parking sensors there. Nothing to note at all on the back doors, really tidy. And then looking on the inside, the ply's in nice condition. Ignore that stain there, that's just damp because I had the wet carpet mats laying in the back there to dry overnight, and that will all dry up. There's the charging cable, type 1 to type 2 16 amp AC charging cable for the AC charger at the front of the wing, so you have that to plug into a wall charger either at home or work, or any public AC charging posts. In the back here we've got a light, we've also got a 12 volt socket as well. The only thing to point out here is the paint is chipping off at the back here. You get that on these. This becomes a bit of a water trap because it's the lowest point, and if damp soil and sand and stuff like that gets in here, the paint does start coming off and it flakes off. I suspect the metalwork is galvanized anyway because they never seem to rust, but I have gone along and put some built Hamber rust protection on there, so it makes it look a bit worse, but anyway, it's all protected. But you tend to find when that paint gets damp, it just peels off in sheets, but that's a characteristic of all these vans. But the hardboard on the back of the doors is really good condition. Usually these get punctured because they're not particularly strong and they don't ply on that, they only ply on the top, but yeah, all really tidy. And generally it's been looked after well. I would just say everything I'm pointing out as well I've taken pictures of on the website, so go to the photo gallery, you can then have a look at the pictures in detail, go full screen, and you can zoom in as well. Some minor scuffing on the plastic wheel trim. This side is really nice. The only thing to point out on this side is there is a tiny little dent there on the front wing, and that's the only dent on the van. And that wheel trim, a little bit of scuffing at the top there, but that one's pretty good, and a new tyre there on the front as well. And then like the other side, there's just a bit of scuffing on this corner of the bumper there, just a parking scuff again. So let's have a look inside. Really clean and tidy, seats are all clean. There's a little bit of wear on this seat in that seam, but no wear on the bolsters. All really good actually. There's a few marks on the door jamb or whatever you call this here, and that's just where people have slammed the door on the seatbelt buckle. And again here you get the corresponding dents on the door. There's one worse one there, but that's just people being lazy, to be honest. New carpet mats in it as well. So get in out of the wind, let's start it up. So we can see there the mileage is 36,177 miles. So these have air conditioning, they have a resistive heater. You don't get preconditioning on these, so you can't warm them up in the morning when it's connected to a charger. But because they got a resistive heater, they do get warm very quickly. So in the winter you get in it, you get heat pretty much instantly after about 45 seconds or so. Here's your gear selector, park, reverse, neutral, drive. You drive it like an automatic even though they don't have a gearbox. We've got FM radio, single slot CD. There's no Bluetooth on these, that was an option which very few of them have. We've got a storage compartment in front of your instrument display up there. We've got the overhead storage as I said, and then a small glove box down there. So let's next talk about range. This is about, I don't know, 95% charged or so. I charged it at home the other night and driven to work, so I've done about, I don't know, about 8 miles or so. And it's showing a range of 61 miles. This is very much an estimate based on recent driving and temperature and everything else like that, basically recent driving economy. These have got a 22 kilowatt hour battery, and typically these will do 80 to 90 miles in the summer if driven efficiently, and then in the winter 50 to 60 miles. With these, at worst they do about 50 miles if you have got a load in the back and you got the heating on. But if you're driving in a city or town where it's lower road speed and stop-start driving, then you're going to get a little bit more. And you can get these, if you're driving them very efficiently, you can do 90 to 100 miles in these. And obviously everything works without any faults or errors, and all the details are on the website of all the other things that I haven't explained. Just show you the paperwork as well. We've got 2 keys, that's the original. I've also had a new key cut, and they are much nicer than the original Peugeot ones, much more premium. We've got the book back here with all the books. The service book didn't have any stamps on apart from the last service, so I'm not going to show you that, but we've got the service history here, which I will show you in a second. So it's had no previous keepers, so only one keeper from new, and it's come from Lease Plan, the lease company, and the registration date is the 27th of the 6th, 27th, let me say that again, 26th of the 7th 2016. So service history, so here's the service history print from the lease company, and as we can see, it's had 1, 2, 3, 4 services, brake fluid changes as well. So yeah, that's all been done. As well as that, I've just serviced it again, not that it was due, but we do with all the vehicles that go out, and put a new carbon cabin filter on, new wiper blades, 2 new front tyres, a new door check strap in that door there because they always get very clicky, a new rubber door seal on this driver's door because where that seat belt had been slammed in the door too many times, that had torn, a new key cut and coded, all the wheels rebalanced, tread tyre depths are all good, auxiliary batteries been charged and tested, and all the brake pads are still very good, 10mm on the front and 8mm on the back, so all excellent. And the MOT test here is due 25th of the 7th 2021, and it was last done obviously July last year at 32,656 miles. Let me just remind myself how many miles this has done since. So it has done 36,000, so yeah, 4,000 miles since the last MOT. So as I said, all the other information's on the website, and this van's ready to go. So if you're interested, give me a call or email, and as I said, I can deliver these anywhere in the country, and it will come to you on a flatbed or a trailer, and it will be fully charged and ready to use.